Dr. Suneth, what is your advice to men who are struggling with mental health? I mean, those are the, since you being a doctor, so I mean, this is a question which I would like to ask.
Right. So actually, that's a very deep question that you ask. What we can tell for men who struggle, because I can easily tell you, Mr. Hameed, that almost every man struggles with it. Find me one man who says, they'll say that they don't have it, but truly find me one man who's at peace with himself. They all have their internal demons, and they all have, a majority of them have substandard ways of dealing with it. So what I want, or what I expect of men, is at the very core to be in touch with who they are. They need to understand that every problem, like Mr. Ajay very, very clearly said, every problem has a solution. Even mental illness, I think Mr. King Ratnam mentioned this. Where is he? I didn't see him around. Ah, there you are. Thank you for bringing that up, actually. He made a very interesting point there where he said that, it's all in the mind. And men hide. They hide their feelings, they hide their emotions, and they hide mental illness also. The point that you made was when he said that mental illness, it's the word. When you say mental, in single you say pissa, you think of it as a pissua. And or in that, when you think of mental illness in that sense, it's a very broad spectrum. I mean, to be truly honest with you, I've gone to counseling as well. I've sought help whenever I had trouble. So that's how common this problem is. So my advice to men in this regard is simply accept and understand that we all need help. We are not islands. We can't function alone and be these rocks that society expects us to be. I mean, even if you take pop culture, how many movies do you see where men are sensitive or men are just normal human beings? I mean, the men that are throwing our faces are the Dwayne Johnsons and these built, buff, big dudes who you think would never have a problem in their life. And I mean, society builds this or paints this picture of men as pillars of strength and pillars of integrity, or pillars of everything basically. And what do pillars do? Pillars bear weight, right? And we all bear weight. But not all of us are made of granite to hold that weight up. But all of us need to realize that we can get help. There is help out there, and you should seek it, and you should not feel less of yourself. You actually should feel more about yourself for seeking help. Because the first step of conquering mental illness, the very first step, is understanding or accepting the fact that you need help. One of the greatest joys of my life, or the day that I celebrate the most, is the day I realized I needed help when I was going through a bad patch in my life. Had I not walked into that counselor's room, had I not reached out, I may not even be here today. You can imagine it's very easy for a doctor to end his life, right? Unlike all of you, I could think of 100 ways easily to have done it without even being caught. But find me one man who hasn't thought of suicide even once in his life to end everything. Because Sri Lankans, again, I see this, it's very common, Sri Lankan men, women both, we have very less value in self. It's maybe the culture that we are brought up in, it's maybe the inputs that we get, but one of the first things we think of when we have a problem is, I need to exit. If I am not there, the problem is not there. And self-harm or suicide is a very, very selfish thing to do. You're just removing yourself from the equation, you're leaving behind so much hurt for everybody else to carry on with. You may be out of it, but it doesn't solve the problem, no? You're actually leaving more hurt for everyone around you. You're blowing up a bomb of hurt and exiting. So this is what I meant to understand. To summarize and actually answer your question is that, seek help. It's not, you are a better man, you're a stronger man. And in my eyes, you are a hero to accept that you need help.
Thank you. Excellent.